as well as transport us across to new worlds, universes, and even our own minds. MTV's Teen Wolf, which is entering their final season, is one example of a cast straight out of imagination.
It's just been integrated into who I am and my life.
It's been an amazing progression to be a character on the show. It's been an amazing progression to see everybody grow up and kind of, experience all these wonderful life things at the, like Dylan and Tyler were both 18 when they started, and now they're young adults, and it's amazing. And to see how they've just progressed as young men, it's been a real amazing journey.
It's this little show that I didn't know what to think when I saw the script for Teen Wolf. I was like, oh, great. How imaginative. We're doing another reboot of something that, some 80s movie. And then I read the script and it was amazing. And then I met these people and I thought, this could be something. And it's this little show that we did that I'm so proud of.
I figured out my purpose in life. I've learned a lot from Scott. I bring a lot to Scott. I bring a lot of me into Scott. I really care about people. I love people. I love protecting people. I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. I've just completely changed as a person on this show, and I'm really proud of who I am.
I was not there since day one, but I don't feel like I've been there since day one, but I feel part of the family. They are family, and it's because of them. They've welcomed me, and I'm just so lucky and grateful, and it's just been such an amazing few years.
Do you have any plans after Teen Wolf?
Yeah, I'm working with a few writers, 3 to be exact, on 3 different kinds of stories, scripts, and creating lookbooks and so forth to potentially sell those shows. And I'm working with a startup company in the phone app industry, as well as some things my makeup artist and I are doing. So little side projects, yeah.
I've got a band, and I'm a producer, I'm a director. I'm writing my own shorts and directing them and editing them, and I've got a podcast.
Cry. Just like you guys, right?
Definitely.
No, we're going to make every show count. We're going to make every scene count now that we know that it's, the end of the show itself. And, I will continue to be happy to be Mama McCall for the rest of my life. And then just like any other actor who's on the grind, it's off to auditions and other shows and other stories to tell, and hopefully catch up with everybody, when we can, and, just know that it was an amazing, beautiful time in all of our lives.
Even novels such as Cassie Clare's series, The Mortal Instruments, landed at the convention. The successful novel turned into a hit TV show, launches into their 2nd season on Freeform, but not before they paid fans like us a visit.
So season 2 starts exactly where season 1 left off. So there's no time jump, there's no lapse, and everything is about everything is about finding Jace, finding Valentine, finding the ship, getting the Mortal Cup back, and that's where we're left off. As far as what we can expect longevity-wise throughout the season, the look of the show is a lot kind of darker and more cinematic.
We can see him grow more into his role as a vampire and kind of understanding what that means for him. We can see him struggle with being a vampire and having to live a mundane life. Like, how does that work for his family? How does that work for the people around him that don't understand? And then we can also see him start to get a little more confident in who he is enough to kind of maybe tell Clary how he feels and see if that's a plausible relationship option. So yeah, there's a lot coming on this island. Yeah, very excited.
Darker, the show's definitely a lot darker. The characters are we get to know them a little more, and I think the interactions, what people fell in love with the books, and even in the first season is the relationships between different characters and how they interact and how it affects them. So I think for season, we're definitely going to keep that going and have that, but also going a little more in depth.
We'll read something in the books and we'll decide that we want to put it in the show, and then it's this conceptualizing, well, how do we create the image that you see in your head and that you read on the page, how do we bring that to the screen in a television show's budget and the time restraints of that. And it's really rewarding when we can see it all come together, and it's always a little different because you can't do exactly what you had in the mind's eye, but I think people are going to be really excited to see some of the places we're going.
Sci-fi and fantasy shows weren't the only stars. Destination America's Paranormal Lockdown brings together 2 of the world's renowned investigators for a spine-tingling special, Paranormal Lockdown: The Black Long House.
So, Nick and I are confined to haunted locations, normally for 72 hours, but we have a 2-hour Halloween special coming up where we are confined for 100 hours, which was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. It is gritty, it is tiring, it's a gut check for sure, being in one of the world's most haunted locations for 100 hours and really pushing yourself to the limits to see, is there anything unknown here? Is there stuff going on that we can't explain?
This was a year in the making, and it took us a really long time to document everything. We had a lot of personal stuff happening at our own houses ever since we left the Hinsdale house in New York from season 1 of Paranormal Lockdown. And that's where everything just took a left turn for us. And it took us to the Black Monk house in England, and that's where we learned that everything has some sort of connection in the spiritual world. When you have a personal connection with somebody like a homeowner or somebody who's been affected by these paranormal things that they don't fully understand, and you connect with that person in that moment to try to figure out what is happening. Is it psychological? Is it the house? Is it the environment? Is something bigger happening that we don't fully understand yet as human beings? And for Katrina and I, that's the most personal connection we can have with human beings, where somebody's crying and they just want to be held because this thing has affected their family or the location, and it ripple effects out into the property. And that's what we really kind of it strikes a nerve with us, because I understand that, because I have a family and I have children and stuff, so I want to help at the foremost and try to push ourselves into finding new things in the paranormal field.